Aino.
And this is Caroline, and we are Icona Pop.
And you are listening to Electrocutie.
Yay!
Thank you. So first things first, I wanted to kind of find out a little bit more about you ladies, and I was wondering, how did you girls meet?
Well, I was heartbroken, so I was like lying in a bed for 2 weeks, and a mutual friend of ours forced me after 2 weeks to take the step to go out and dance with her. So she forced me to go to a party, and it was at her place.
Yeah, and I had a lot of good parties.
Really good parties.
And we were such a nice crew, and it was the best vibe. And I was kind of like frustrated and felt a little bit numbed because I couldn't really. The music didn't go very well, so I kind of tried to fill that space with go out dancing with my friends instead. And then you came to my party, and
I
it
was a
just,
heartbroken girl.
Yeah, we were supposed to take care of her, and we were like, sure, we're gonna show you a good time. And it was just love at first sight, you know?
Yeah. No, when you meet, like, you don't often do that, but when you know that it's right, but like, we felt instantly that there was something like electrical between us, and it wasn't love, but it was like love when it comes to music. It was
like a really good chemistry.
Yeah, really, really good chemistry. We spoke the same language when it came to the music, so
and we just like went out dancing like all night long, and then the day after, Aino called me and just, hey, we said that we should do something together, so I'm heading to your home, and she brought a bottle of wine and
my
a computer.
And I don't know why, because we both are kind of shy, and to let someone into your own space and write music, it takes a lot of courage. But with you, it felt like I've known you the whole life. So we just sat down, we wrote our first song, and we felt instantly like, wow, this is something, we should really keep on to this. So we started our band the day after we kind of became friends. And then 2 days after that, we booked our first gig, and a month later we had our first gig. So we're standing on stage improvising all the songs.
And I also think we felt, I mean, when you're at the bottom and you find someone, it was like a sign. You felt like you didn't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
You just have to give your all. I think that was why I wasn't nervous. We were just, okay, let's sit down, and we started writing. And we didn't even discuss like what kind of music we were influenced by, or what kind of music we wanted to do. We just started, and we gave it a shot, and it felt good. And I called my mom the same day, like, hey mom, I'm in a band. So she was like, what?
Okay, what's going on?
I mean, it sounds like it happened like really fast.
It happened really, really fast.
You just met, and then you had a show already.
We felt like we didn't really have any time to lose. You know, when it feels right, you just want to do it all at the same day. You don't want to wait, like people say it's gonna take such long time. And we listened to them and said, okay. And then we looked at each other and like, hell no, we're gonna do this quicker. We're gonna do this our way.
How did you girls decide on the name? Was that as quick for you?
No, we actually we couldn't find a name that kind of felt like us. We tried different names, but everything was, we wanted to explain both the pop and we were very inspired by Prince. Our first photos that we took was kind of, I cut my hair.
And we had like big like,
things on the head.
Yeah, very like iconic pictures.
The thing is that Caroline's mom your mom texted you, like she was, I don't know the story really, but she was...
but we tried a long time to find a good name. So we were almost giving up. We were like, oh, we can't find a name that's right for us. And both our moms, were very involved and supporting. So my mom texted us and just with a bunch of names. And she was home with her Italian friends, and they said, oh, so they're gonna be the next, I don't know how you pronounce it in Italian, but Icona Pop, because that's pop icon in Italian. And she was like, that sounded cool, and she texted us, and we kind of tasted it and just like,
wow, we this is kind of like a celebration for Prince in a way, and all the big artists that's been influencing us through the whole our whole life. So yeah,
I feel like it's a really perfect name for you girls, for sure, and it's catchy too. What are your? I know you said like when you first met, like you didn't even know like what the other was like into musically, and it just kind of worked out. So what are your influences for your music?
It's very different because we grew up in the 90s, so we listened to a lot of pop bands. We love, you know, all the boy girl bands, Spice Girls, NSYNC, love it, Britney, love it, Beyonce, Destiny's Child. But then also like, we love reggae music, we love pop music, we love Burning Spears, and then also we love like
we listen a lot. Like I think we listen a lot to songs. We were discussing this. Like we find songs that we like and then we listen to it. But I think we get very inspired by bands like Daft Punk, Chemical Brothers, Talking Heads, of course Prince that we've been mentioning a lot of times. But it's hard to say. I mean, we listen to like a lot of different kind of music.
Yeah.
It's cool though to have like different influences because it adds a really cool edge to the music, you know, like it could be many things. It could be pop, it could be a little grunge, it could be a little electro, and it makes for a really cool, unique sound.
Yeah, and you can really hear that it's a lot of kind of like on our upcoming album, you can really hear that we get inspired. Now we got really inspired by dance music because we went to London for a year and we saw the dance scene and we started to DJ a lot. So we got really inspired by that. So you can kind of hear it, and I love it that it's a little more dancier than maybe the earlier track that we had. So you can.
Yeah, and I also think we always felt so free when it comes to. I mean, we are influenced by a lot of different kinds of music and artists, and that also reflects in the music when we're making. We can do whatever we want to in the studio, and then we call it our pop. You know, it doesn't have to be like we're not gonna make like an album with 12 tracks that sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
We feel so free in the studio, so it's a mix between so much stuff, and it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's fun.
I think that must be like a really sense of freedom because you know what, a lot of artists do have albums and every song does sound the same.
Yeah.
So like I like that. I know like every song you guys have released, like it's had a different vibe, which is cool. It makes it fresh and exciting. It's a new song every time. You know, like there's just so many different corners to you guys as artists. So I think that's really refreshing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What is take me through your process when you're in the studio. You know, who does what? Is it a total collaboration?
It's always different depending on. Sometimes we come to the studio and with an idea and we start to build stuff around our idea. Sometimes we just have a track. Sometimes people even wrote like the top line, but we come instead and touch the production, like sit down with a producer, like I want to have more drums. It's totally different from
that is what makes it fun.
Yeah,
I mean, when we write, we travel so much. We never at the same time or like the same space or place ever more than 2 days. So we never have like, oh, this is where we have to be when we write. We can write wherever we are. But
I think airplanes are the best places, or buses.
You can't do anything else. You just sit there in your own little world, and you're like, your mind are like starting to just fly away. You know, it's very inspiring. But at the same time, I think when we write together with other people, you learn so much about how they work, new ways of working, and it's like when you meet someone and you get inspiration, and you give. And like it's a give and take, and it's fun. It's always, you learn very much.
So it's just like this ongoing learning experience too. You're always growing as artists as well. Now, how do I know you mentioned you travel a lot. So how does that? Do you guys love traveling and like exploring places? Yeah.
I wish we had more time to actually see all the places we've been to, because we usually we're just like we sound check and then we might have a couple of hours, but then you're tired of traveling, so you always like end up watching the four walls of your hotel room. But we just love seeing the world. It's such a nice
seeing new cultures, like people, and the music scene is so different when you go like oh, I mean, we come from Sweden. We've been playing a lot there this summer, but we've been in like Spain, Italy, Germany. It's been like over here, and it's totally different wherever you go. So it's so fun. You always find new bands.
That's so cool. What about the shopping? You girls must love shopping, right? I know you're into fashion, right?
We love fashion. We were so poor. Actually, and you know, so we started to cut our old stuff just to remake them on stage at one point and sewing stuff. So that was kind of fun.
And one very good thing that is good, that you can change clothes with your friends. Because you usually get tired of wearing the same jeans or the same shirt like every day. Then we were like, oh, I love that one. Do you want to like switch with me for a while? Cool. And that is so good, because then it feels like you got something new.
Yeah. But the shopping is amazing. Every time we get money, we just go out and buy way too much clothes. We don't think. We just act. Don't think.
And
just
then
act.
we're poor again.
Yeah.
But we are, at least we
it's
have
worth
those.
it.
And I think when you're kind of poor, you kind of find inspiration in other stuff. You're like, you can't go out shopping, you can't go out eating because you don't have any money, so you have to do something else that doesn't cost, and that's when we all write our music. When you're poor or when you got a really heartache.
Yeah, and the best dinners is always at home. Yeah, like at friends' place, like cooking something together with your friends. I love that. It's never gonna be as good. I mean, that's the best. You can go out and have fancy dinners, and that's lovely. We love food. We love to eat, but I mean, it's something special with dining and cooking together with your friends.
Yeah, it's like it's intimate.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can
Personally, you can like all can just like you make it together, and you're drinking wine, and you're like, yeah, it's cozy.
And it's creative too,
Yeah,
I think,
it is
cooking.
creative.
I know, like, even going back to like your style and stuff too. Like, do you use the art of fashion as another way to express yourself along with your music?
Yeah, definitely. We've never been slaves when it comes to following trends and stuff. We just put on clothes that we love or we like, and often when we stand on stage, we want to put on stuff that makes the movements bigger, because we're just two persons on stage. So if you move your arm, you can kind of see something more happening than just moving an arm.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, I think everything that you do when it comes to like videos, pictures, recording a song, it really have to feel like totally you, or in this case, totally us.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, clothes is a way of expressing what you feel that day, that moment, and that what makes it so fun. Sometimes you put on a shirt with a pair of pants, and because you feel like that, and the next week you find the shirt and you have it with something else, and it's all about what you feel and expressing yourself.
Yeah. Are you, do you guys, because I haven't seen you guys perform live yet, but I'm so excited. So what's your typical show like? Is it like high energy? Are you guys...
People say it's very high energy.
It's like,
We get kind of blacked out on stage.
You just go into that place in your mind, right?
mesmerized by the music. We're like, and then like, what happened?
Yeah, are we done?
But it's amazing. It's a lot of dancing going on and jumping.
Now, I know a lot of your music, it seems like it's a lot computer-based. Are there like live drums or anything like that? Are you guys interested in...
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just us on stage, but we play live. It's hard to explain, but we have like different kind of lounge pads, so we play and we loop stuff. So it's very important for us to feel free on stage. We want to be able to like connect with the audience, to move around, not just like press play. That would be too boring.
Yeah, that would be so boring. And I mean, on very big stages, we have this amazing guy from Sweden that always is like our drummer. But I think now we want to keep it small because we want to be able to play wherever. So.
And sometimes we have a drum. Sometimes, I mean, we like to just challenge ourselves to make it like I want to be nervous all the time when I go up on stage. Are we gonna make this today? Okay, you know, and that's so important to like keep bringing in new stuff. So hopefully you will see some new stuff on stage soon.
I'm excited. Let's talk a little bit about I Love It, one of my favorite songs. It was so fun. And I know it's so like I heard it obviously like months ago when it came out, and I loved it. I put it on my blog. And then I heard this amazing song in the opening of the Snooki and JWoww show, and I didn't put two and two together. It's like I completely blanked out, and I was like, oh, I love this song. Who is this? And then I realized yesterday, holy shit, it's Icona Pop, and I was like, whoa, what? So what's that like for you? I mean, that's MTV. That's a big...
Yeah, I think
that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. I grew up watching MTV, so and now they're actually playing it. And I think it's a fun combination because I mean I haven't watched Jersey Shore that much, but I know about Snooki, and she's a crazy girl, and that song fits that.
She could really maybe like drive a car into the bridge, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully not with the baby.
No.
Not with the baby.
Without the baby.
I also I love Manners, and I heard it. Another weird story. I was driving a few weeks ago, and this Chitty Bang song came on the radio called "Mind Your Manners," and there you were, sampled in the song, and it was so shocking. That's cool too. So how did that come to pass?
We were releasing a song on Neon Gold, and Derek and Lizzie from Neon Gold are very good friends of Chitty Bang, and they got to hear Manners before we released it, and they loved it. So they asked us if they could use it sample it on one of their songs, and we were like, yeah, please. If you like our song, do whatever you want to. Like,
that is so cool.
They're very kind. We met them a couple of times, especially Noah. We met a lot of times.
So I know you girls are getting ready to release a new EP, the Iconic EP, and I know I Love It, that will be on it, right? I Love It. Okay, and I heard of this song, Ready for the Weekend. So what can you tell us about that?
The EP is going to be a mix of both old and new songs, so there's going to be some from the other EP that we released. But then we're gonna have a couple of new tracks like Ready for the Weekend. It's more, you can kind of hear the vibe that we've been in London and listening to a little bit more dancier track. That's a more like up-tempo, it's kind of
that
more hard.
All about the feeling for the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be lovely I love playing it live because it makes people go mental, and it feels good.
Will you play it at Santos?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
Yes. And we use effect mics when we sing it.
Yeah, you're like,
so we pitch it up and stuff. It's very fun to play it live.
Very cool. I'm excited. I wanted to ask, what about an album? I know you've released an EP, a couple tracks. I know you're about to release an EP. So what stage is your album in? Is it something that you're always working on?
Yeah. It feels like it's not too far away, but we've been traveling so much this summer, which has been slowing the process down a little bit. But we're constantly writing, and it's not too far away.
It's not too far away. No, we're going to LA, gonna write for 3 weeks. We just wrote a song before we moved here to New York. It's a killer. It's a killer, yeah.
We just want to release that one now.
We'll try to release it before the album.
Yeah, we're gonna leak it out.
Just so you know, on your blog, right?
I will definitely keep an eye out for it. I'm so excited, and I can't wait for more music because you guys are super cool. Like I said, every song is like new and fresh. So it's almost like you're listening to a different artist every time, but with the same vibe. You know what I mean?
That's like exactly what we want people to think. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.